from crude from Russia. Let's welcome Mr. M.K. Surana, who's the former CMD at HPCL, who joins in now to take this conversation further. Mr. Surana, back when we were importing a lot, the difference between crude oil imports from Russia versus other parts of the world were a lot more. Right now, at current levels of crude, what do you think is the delta? And do you think it would make a big difference? How does sourcing change?
No, what you say is correct that once upon a time, the discount was substantial. It was double digits. And currently, it has got tapered down substantially in last few months. And it is, let's say, in the range of around $2 per barrel. So whether we continue to take Russian oil or we do not take, it is not going to make that significant difference now. Anyway, once upon a time, we were not taking Russian crude. And it is only when the discounts were beneficial and it was offsetting the transportation cost, that's where it started becoming lucrative.
Okay. So, Mr. Surana, there's limited amount of benefit now because the discount has come down to $2. One can assume that.
Yes, it is not a substantial impact as far as the crude barrels are shifted from, let's say, Russian barrels to somebody else. Okay. The impact may come if complete stoppage of Russian barrels in the global supply chain. In that case, there may be some impact, but because of fast rollback of the production cuts by OPEC, a part of that is also mitigated.
Okay. Just wanted to understand that what exactly will be India's sourcing strategy now that it is going to possibly be cutting back on Russian crude imports?
The Russian buys by all the companies is based on a techno-economic analysis. So it is not just the price, but also the quality of the crude, which reflects into the gross product worth of a crude, and which is decided by the assay of the crude. So all the companies evaluate all the crude which is there in their basket, depending on the structure of their refinery and the technical capabilities to handle it. And based on that, which is the most beneficial crude, that is decided. So there is already the African crudes are there, Middle East crudes are there, Far East crudes are there, Latin American crudes are there, US and Russian crudes are there in Indian refineries baskets. And refineries have got a wide basket of the crudes which they can process. So depending on the techno-economic analysis, they will continue to decide which crude is beneficial and depending on the product slate and the refinery configuration.
Right, Mr. Surana, but is it easy actually to increase sourcing maybe to a different country in terms of, the benefit that they would get? Or how does it work actually on ground? Because on quarter basis, do they get to make that change that quickly?
No, the refineries have got a mix of term crude and the spot crudes. And basically the type of crudes, if you see, you can decide into low sulfur crude, high sulfur crude, high TAN crude. There are different specifications of the crude, but all the crudes can be put in some large baskets. So for example, the Middle East crudes are normally medium to high sulfur crudes, while the African crudes may be low sulfur crudes. And depending on your refinery configuration, the product slate, the specification of the products which you are making, and the downstream units which you have to remove sulfurs or the impurities from the product, you take a basket of the crude which will give you the best objective function. That is basically the margin in the refinery. Now, so it is a combination of all this which decides which crude you will take and in which mix you will process. And one important parameter is the API of the crude, which decide whether the crude is heavy, light, or something like that. So while there is a design crude by which the refineries will give the best optimum result, but there is quite a wide range and flexibility available because no refinery decides to put all his eggs in one basket or design the refinery only from one particular crude in mind. There is a design crude, there are check crudes, and there is a flexibility available around which the refineries can always operate. And there will be some some plus and minuses in doing different points, different type of things. And there is some operational flexibilities also available to run different type of crude, which is built in at the time of design of the refineries.
All right, net, as per you, how much could the near-term impact be? And overall, do you think there is the possibility of us going back to Russian crude as things, again start to turn into India's favor when it comes to prices?
So if the pricing economics benefits, why not? So basically, just let's say 3 years back, we were not buying at all.
Yeah.
When it started becoming advantageous, we started buying. Now there is a geopolitics around it. So there is a larger context which this issue of Russian crude has come in, which is not purely the refiners or the design issues. But if suppose those issues are not there, then it will again pure techno-economic analysis, and if it is beneficial, why not? It should be done.
And as per you, at what crude prices do you think it gets a little more beneficial?
It is not only the function of only the crude price. As I mentioned to you, it is function of the crude price, the product, gross product worth, what we call is, that is the quality of the crude, that not all the crude give the same product slate.
Yeah.
Okay.
The third is the transportation, insurance, and also what are the product cracks available. So you have to make up for the refinery operation expenses out of that. So it is not just the crude price which decide the refinery profitability.
Okay. All right, Mr. Surana, we're going to leave it on that note, but definitely a discussion that we will be revisiting up till the 21st of November as well. But thank you very much for joining in and speaking with CNBC TV18. Well, we need to take a short break on that note, but Cohan's shares have fallen nearly 10% in trade after the MD has resigned. The management will be joining us for further clarifications after a short break. Stay tuned.